Hello and welcome. In a world that's getting louder and, well, more chaotic, our inner peace is worth its weight in gold. But how do you actually protect it? That's exactly what we're talking about today. Together, we're going to build your own personal, spiritual arsenal. But don't worry, these aren't weapons, but incredibly powerful tools for your inner protection and strength. Let's dive right in. Honestly, and this question is directly for you. The world out there is often a whirlwind of stress and distractions. How do you manage to stay centered and not lose your inner peace? Well, if you sometimes find yourself looking for answers, you've come to the right place. We're about to look at a few super effective techniques. Imagine it as an arsenal of light. That might sound grand, but it's basically a collection of very accessible yet highly effective techniques. Think of it as a toolbox for your soul, one that you always have with you and can open at any time to recenter, protect, or simply recharge yourself. Okay, let's start with the basics. The foundation. The first tool in our arsenal is a pure shield of protection. We'll call it the diamond armor. This is your first line of defense, so to speak, against all the negative energies and stress that bombard you from the outside. The heart of this technique is a mantra. Yes, it might look super complex at first glance, but don't let that intimidate you. Its effect is universal. It goes,
Namo, Samanta, Vajraksha, Vajrakavacha, Hum.
Protection is what we desperately need for our spiritual progress. Recite this mantra at least 108 times daily in a session while being focused on your forehead. Try to do it seriously, full attention, no breaks or distractions. Step by step, subtle diamond substance will accumulate and build up your indestructible energy shield. The more efforts you make, the more focused and serious you are, the more devotion you invest, the better the effect will be. For a basic level of protection, 925 sessions should be done. With intense practice, it can be achieved in about 6 to 12 months. The value of such an armor in the spiritual realm is immense and can increase to an equivalent of tens of millions of dollars, maybe even more. Okay, now let's take it a step further. We're moving from pure defense to active focusing. This is about sharpening your perception and establishing a much deeper connection with yourself. A really fascinating technique for this is meditation on the so-called divine sound current. This is also known as Surat Shabd Yoga. What's it about? It's about listening completely inward, not to the sounds out there, but to a very subtle, inner sound. This is a truly deep form of meditation. And take note, with this technique, there is a very crucial rule. It's not okay to listen with just any ear. The instruction here is very clear. Concentrate exclusively on your right ear. In this teaching, this is considered the path that leads you spiritually upward. Listening with the left ear, on the other hand, should be strictly avoided because it is associated with, let's just say, undesirable experiences. So a very specific but absolutely central instruction for this practice. Another, perhaps more accessible method for strengthening your focus is prayer or repetition. This could be, for example, the constant repetition of divine names that mean something to you, like Yahweh or Jesus. Or you can simply use powerful affirmations that strengthen you. And you guessed it, the key once again is focus. Keep your attention consistently on your third eye. So now we have protection and we have focus. But what's still missing from our arsenal? Right, a real energy booster. In this last part, we'll look at tools that don't just support your spiritual practice, but actually fire it up and charge it with pure power. And this is a tool you are guaranteed to know. Music. Certain sounds, certain frequencies, can noticeably raise your vibration and give you a real energy boost for your practice. The cool thing is, it doesn't matter what kind of music it is. Just find what works for you. Okay, and now we're going to combine this with an incredibly powerful visualization. Try this with me if you'd like. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a bright, glowing disc at your third eye. That's right, that same spot on your forehead. Now, in your mind's eye, let this disc rotate. Really fast, clockwise. So what does this do? Well, this simple visualization has 3 powerful effects at once. First, The rapid rotation actively generates spiritual energy. It charges you up. Second, it acts as a dynamic shield that simply deflects negative forces. And third, it concentrates your focus like a laser beam, right on your third eye. So that's protection, focus, and power, all combined into a single mental image. And with that, your personal arsenal of light is now complete. You have a shield, you have tools for focus, and you have techniques to boost your own energy. Everything is now ready for you. So the crucial question isn't whether you have the tools anymore. The question is, which one will you use today? Thanks for being here.